February 14th, 1943. Kasserine Pass, Tunisia, North Africa. American ground troops face German forces for the first time, not in a skirmish, not in a small engagement, in a full-scale battle. The United States has been in World War II for 14 months, but this is different. This is the first time American soldiers meet the Wehrmacht on the battlefield. Infantry against infantry, tank against tank, the test everyone has been waiting for. By February 16th, 3 days later, America will have learned a brutal lesson. 6,000 casualties, 183 tanks destroyed, a 50-mile retreat. The worst defeat in American military history up to that point. This is the story of America's first battle and how badly they lost. November 1942. Operation Torch. American forces land in North Africa. Their first combat deployment of the war. 30,000 troops of II Corps under General Lloyd Fredendall. By February 1943, they've been in Africa for 3 months. But actual combat? Minimal. Some skirmishes, patrols. Nothing major. These are green troops, fresh from training camps in America. They've never seen serious combat. Many have never even fired their weapons at an enemy. Their equipment is mixed. M3 Lee tanks. Adequate but not great. Their training is incomplete. Their officers lack experience. Their positions in the mountains of eastern Tunisia are spread thin, and they're confident. Why wouldn't they be? They're Americans. They'll figure it out. How hard can it be? They're about to find out. The opponent, Erwin Rommel, the Desert Fox, already a legend by February 1943. Rommel has been fighting in North Africa for 2 years. His Afrika Korps are hardened veterans. They've fought the British across Libya, won victories, lost battles, learned lessons. They know desert warfare. They know mobile combat. They know how to fight. More importantly, they know what works. Panzer tactics, rapid movements, concentrated attacks. They've done this hundreds of times. And now they face Americans. Green troops, inexperienced officers, spread thin, in defensive positions, in mountain passes where mobile warfare wins. Rommel sees an opportunity, not just a victory, but a chance to drive the Americans completely out of Tunisia. He attacks. February 14th, 1943. Dawn. German forces attack through Faid Pass, east of Kasserine, panzers supported by infantry. The assault hits American positions with overwhelming force. The Americans are not ready. They've never experienced this. The speed, the coordination, the violence. German tanks appear where intelligence said they wouldn't be. Artillery falls with precision. Infantry follows immediately behind armor. Within hours, American units are breaking. Communication lines cut. Officers don't know what's happening. Orders are confused or contradictory. Soldiers see their positions being overrun and make their own decisions. Many decide to retreat. By evening of day 1, German forces have pushed through initial American defenses. They've captured equipment, taken prisoners, advanced several miles, and they're not stopping. They're moving toward Kasserine Pass itself. The Americans are in trouble. February 15th, day 2. It gets worse. German forces pour through gaps in American lines. Rommel commits more armor, more infantry. The attack expands. American units find themselves surrounded or outflanked. Retreat becomes the only option. But the retreat is not organized. It's panic. Units fall back without coordinating with neighbors. Officers lose contact with their commanders. Radio communications fail or are jammed. Some units don't even know they should be retreating until they see other Americans running past them. Equipment is abandoned. Tanks left behind when they run out of fuel. Artillery pieces destroyed rather than captured. Supply dumps set on fire. Soldiers grab what they can carry and go. By the end of day 2, American forces have retreated over 50 miles from their original positions. Kasserine Pass is in German hands. February 16th, Day 3. The Americans finally establish a new defensive line, 50 miles back from where they started. German forces have stopped their advance, not because Americans stopped them, but because Rommel has outrun his supply lines. His tanks need fuel. His troops need ammunition. He consolidates his gains. For the Americans, a moment to breathe, to count losses, to realize what just happened. In 3 days, they've been driven back further than any American force in any previous war. Equipment losses are staggering, casualties mounting, morale shattered. The first battle between America and Germany is over. Germany won, decisively, brutally. It wasn't even close. The numbers tell the brutal story. American casualties, 6,032, that's killed, wounded, or missing. Over 2,700 captured or missing. These are soldiers who walked into battle 3 days ago and never came home. Equipment losses stagger the mind. 193 tanks destroyed or captured. That's an entire armored division worth of tanks. Gone. 208 artillery pieces, 200 plus half-tracks, 500 plus trucks. The U.S. Army loses more equipment in 3 days than in months of fighting in the Pacific. German casualties? Approximately 1,000. About 1 casualty for every 6 American casualties. Equipment losses minimal. This is not a close battle. This is not a hard-fought defeat. This is a rout, a catastrophe. The worst American military defeat since the Civil War. And it happened in 3 days against an enemy everyone said was already beaten. Why did America lose so badly? 5 major failures. First, leadership. General Fredendall commands from a headquarters 70 miles behind the front. He spends more time digging tunnels for his command post than visiting his troops. When battle starts, he's too far away to respond. Second, zero combat experience. These soldiers have never fought. Their officers have never led in combat. Everything is theoretical. Third, spread too thin. 30,000 troops defending over 100 miles of front. That's impossible. Units can't support each other. Gaps everywhere. Fourth, equipment problems. American M3 Lee tanks are inferior to German Panzer IVs. American anti-tank weapons inadequate. Fifth, fatal underestimation. U.S. intelligence says Rommel is defeated, demoralized, not a threat. They're completely wrong. Rommel is still the desert fox. March 6, 1943, General George S. Patton takes command of 2 Corps. Fredendall is relieved, sent home, his military career over. Patton arrives and everything changes, immediately. He visits every unit, frontline positions, rear areas. He's everywhere. Soldiers who never saw Fredendall see Patton daily. Discipline becomes strict. Uniforms must be proper. Helmets mandatory. Shaven required. Soldiers think it's stupid, until they realize it's about standards, about pride, about being professional soldiers. Training intensifies. Live fire exercises, tank tactics, infantry coordination. Everything they should have learned before but didn't. Morale transforms. These aren't defeated soldiers anymore. They're Patton's men. And Patton's men don't lose. The lessons learned at Kasserine Pass transform the American military. Lesson 1. Leadership matters. Officers must be with their troops. Command from the front, not 70 miles away. Bad commanders are replaced. Good ones promoted. Lesson 2. Training is everything. You cannot learn combat during combat. Units retrain intensively. Tank tactics, infantry coordination, combined arms operations. Lesson 3. Respect the enemy. German forces are experienced and skilled. Never underestimate them. Intelligence must be accurate. Lesson 4. Equipment must match the threat. Better anti-tank weapons deployed. Tank doctrine revised. Air support integrated properly. By late March, just 6 weeks after Kasserine, American forces win their first victory against Germans at El Guetar. The same troops, different leadership, better training, lessons applied. America is learning to fight. From Kasserine to victory, the transformation is remarkable. May 1943, just 3 months after Kasserine, American and British forces forced 275,000 German and Italian troops to surrender in Tunisia, larger than Stalingrad. The Afrika Korps is finished. July 1943, Sicily invasion. Americans fight alongside British and Canadian forces. Success. September 1943, Italy invasion, more victories. The learning continues. June 1944, D-Day. American forces land at Omaha and Utah beaches. They fight through France. Many of these soldiers learned their first lessons at Kasserine Pass. May 1945, Germany surrenders. The army that lost at Kasserine helped win the war. Kasserine wasn't the end, it was the beginning. The education, the wake-up call America needed. February 1943, Kasserine Pass, America's first major battle against Germany. A catastrophic defeat. 6,000 casualties, equipment destroyed, 50-mile retreat. The worst American defeat in decades. But here's what matters. It wasn't the defeat that defined America. It was what came after. The lessons learned. The leadership changed. The training improved. The determination to never let it happen again. 3 months later, American forces helped capture 275,000 enemy troops in Tunisia. 2 years later, they're landing at Normandy. 2 years and 3 months later, Germany surrenders. The army that lost at Kasserine Pass became the army that won World War II. First battles don't define wars. How you respond to defeat does. America responded by learning, by improving, by winning. That's the lesson of Kasserine Pass.